today. We thought we had them worked out, but I guess not. All is well on this end, and I hope you're being blessed. I hope that you are strengthened, and I hope you are encouraged in the Lord. Share, 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 and like. Today, I'm just going to get right into the topic. What are your election issues? You can let me know when we live. We are live. Okay, look like we're gonna switch to our main set. Okay. Praise the Lord, everyone. Again, I am Bishop Eric Kincaid Clark, and this is the Bishop Clark Show. Some more technical difficulties, but it's all good. We're going to get into the show and have a good show today. I want to know what are your election issues? What are the issues um, that surround your vote, that influence your vote one way or the other? On yesterday, we had some technical issues just like today, and I had a very interesting show. I was talking about the presidential debate, former Vice President Joe Biden and President Donald Trump began to go back and forth, and it was really a mess. Couldn't even hear or understand anything that they were saying, and it was just not good. It was not good at all. At the same time, I was wondering, did it influence you one way or another way? And I don't know why. Yes, I do. I would say I don't know why. I was going to say I don't know why a lot of people in the African American community don't like Trump. Yes, I do. I do because most African Americans think President Donald Trump is racist. He is biased and prejudiced towards the white community. And we got a chance to see a little bit of that on the other night. They were challenging him. The country is challenging him to speak out against white supremacist groups. And even when put on Front Street, he did not do that. But that, in my opinion, well, if there's a second reason why not just the African American community doesn't like him, there are some the fact that he's not polished, he's not presidential, he's not the most educated man, he's not very smart and articulate, but he's president. I was on my way into the show today, and someone said, "Hey, I got a new reality show," and then somebody commented and said, "Well, you might be president of the United States." In other words, that qualifies you. There's a lot of pun and a lot of joking and a lot of bashing our president based on some issues, some about his character, about the way he deals with people, and again, the way he is just not presenting himself as presidential. So, why, in my opinion, do a lot of African Americans don't like him? Again, because they think he's racist and because he's unpresidential, um, like childish, like immature. On the other hand, there's a lot of good he has done for our country. I began to outline those things on yesterday. Um, the benefits for taxes are better for businesses and companies, corporations. Again, if you're not making X amount of dollars, if you don't have a company, if you're not paying payroll taxes, that don't mean nothing to you. But it means something to the wealthy. It means something even to small business owners. It means something. He's brought a lot of jobs back to America. Good, good, good. Taxes, jobs, companies that take their jobs overseas. Good. That's a good thing. Um, what else has he done? He's given hundreds of millions of dollars to historical black colleges. That's good. So get us in a better tax situation, got us better trade deals. A little bit. I was doing a little research on that. It's not some astronomical situation. I mean, if you go from paying $100 to paying uh, uh, $94, okay, you save some money. But it is a savings. But he has got us a better trade deals with some of the foreign um, nations that we are in business with and have been in business with for a long time. So that's good. That's good. Releasing some prisoners, a lot of African American prisoners who have been in jail unjustly, long sentences, furloughing them and releasing them, getting them out of jail. Good. That's good. That's good. Now, there's a couple other things I'm sure. I don't have everything. But the debate, yesterday we was talking about the debate and how that they just argued back and forth, back and forth. Now, as I see it, it wasn't Joe Biden that was initiating it, but he got sucked into it. I mean, he couldn't get a word in edgewise, as I understand. The two parties agreed on having 2 minutes apiece, 2 minutes uninterrupted, 2 minutes uninterrupted, 2 minutes uninterrupted, 2 minutes uninterrupted for 90 minutes as they addressed subject matter after subject matter. But it was nothing like that. President Trump interrupted every time. I don't think there was one, might have been, but I don't think there was one 2 minute space that Joe Biden got without interruption. And the attacks came so vehemently and frequently and disturbingly that Joe Biden got pulled into the mud fight. And then Joe Biden stooped to that level and began to do a lot of name calling. And that was unpresidential as well. And so it was not good if you were looking for information about their plans for the country, their plans concerning some of the major issues, which is what I want to talk to you about today. I would like to hold a conversation. I want you to go on the Facebook platform or on the platform that you're looking at and give me your two main issues. I mean, I'm going to talk about a few of the issues, but I'm sure I haven't covered all of the issues. But what are your issues? What are your issues that drives your vote? Okay? The economy is a big issue. Healthcare is a big issue. Education is a big issue. This pandemic is a big issue. Social injustice is a big issue. Police brutality and police reform is a big issue. Global warming or the environment is a big issue. What are the biggest issues concerning you? What are you concerned about? Are you concerned about the economy? And there are some people that they say, okay, well, what does that mean? I'm in the stock market. I'm sitting here holding my phone, watching my money right now. And there are a lot of things, President Trump the other day, he just mentioned during the debate, he mentioned Moderna, Johnson & Johnson. Boop, they bounced 2% just when he mentioned them, just mentioning their name. I mean, a lot of people don't know that the decisions that he makes and the things that he does drives our economy up and down, up and down. And when you can control that, if you're a trader or an investor like me, you can position yourself. For instance, if I can hit this TV here and say some good things about Apple and Apple stock go up, then I would position myself to make money when Apple stock go up. If I can say some bad things about Microsoft and I would position myself in the market to make money when Microsoft went down. And it seems like that's what a lot of our president and those connected to him, companies and whatnot, are doing. And when you can manipulate those markets, my God. And how does that work? Like the average Joe that's broke, the average Joe that doesn't have, I don't know, $10,000 to invest. He doesn't have a 401k. He doesn't have none of that stuff. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't make any difference. Ask the homeless person, what difference does it make who's president? None. Well, you can even go a step above homeless. Ask people who are living below the poverty line, making minimum wage. I saw yesterday on television, they raised minimum wage. Hear this, from $8.30 to $8.40. So there was a 10 cents raise. And, I am not downplaying that. I have worked for minimum wage in my life. I thank God that I came up from there. And I don't look down my nose at anybody, but that's not a living wage. You cannot make a life. You can't be a husband. You can't, take care of your kids and your family, and where you gonna live making $8 and not 30 cents, but $8.40. 10 cents. If you work 40 hours a week, you just made another $3 and about 50 cents more. $3.50, $3.60 more cents a week, which is 12, about 15 more dollars a month. You just made about 15 more dollars a month. Like, what is that going to do? Get you, I guess it will, get you a half tank of gas. And there you go. That 10 cents. Or 4 more loaves of bread. Because like bread is like $3 in some settings. So, I mean, it's not much. That's what I'm saying. So the economy on the smallest, on the lowest level, whether you're homeless or living below the poverty line or just making minimum wage, when you are making real little bit of money, it don't make no difference who president. That don't make, because it doesn't impact you. But if you have a business, if you're making 50, 60, 70,000, 100,000, even beyond that a year, yeah, you got your eyes on the economy because you have hopefully some money invested. Well, I'm a trader, so that's one of my things. But hopefully you got some retirement, your 401k, something, and the economy affects that. There are people that are on Social Security, and they have issues with the economy. Why? Because the monies that they get every month is based on investments. And if the economy tanks, it could jeopardize their Social Security, the monies that they get every month. So these are major issues. Economy. Okay, let's talk a little bit about health care. Major, major, major issues. Why is it such a major issue? Number one, because the cost of health care is high. It's going up. You know it costs more money to eat healthy, right? You can go get 3 for 1, 2 for 20, all this kind of stuff at these restaurants and stuff. That food ain't no, well, in my opinion, it's not the best food for you. Ha! I'll say it like that. So you got health care. People are eating bad. People have poor diet. And when I'm in crowds, in the pandemic, we were staying away from the large crowds. But when I travel or when I'm at church or different events, I am completely aware that America is fat. America is overweight. America is out of shape. Look at a group of people. Just find a group of people. Find them. Well, this is what I have seen. Okay, I've traveled. I do all kind of stuff. And when I see people getting on the plane and they can't fit in the seat, and I'm not talking about one or two of them, half the general population is obese. Now, check the statistics on that. I don't know if it's actually half, but there is a large percentage of people in America that would like to lose 50 pounds or more. Now, 50 pounds, if I lost 50 pounds, it would be a detriment to me. But I sure would like to lose about 10 or 12 myself. And I'm working on it every day. I was up doing my stuff today. Yes, I was. Yes, I was. Nonetheless, health care. So because the general population is in such poor health, such poor health, such poor health, since we like to eat all this fast food and nobody likes to work out, and we want to get the liposuction, we want to get fake breasts and get your butt implant, get your butt blown up, even the proper care for your hair and your nails and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's health care. Your teeth, dental hygiene. A lot of people don't go to the dentist. A lot of people just live their whole life with stuff wrong in their mouth, foul smells and all that. And the reason why is because it's expensive. So healthcare is expensive. And, President Trump certainly wants to get rid of Obamacare. And I'm sure I haven't studied the whole bill about Obamacare, but I'm sure there's some things that could be improved. There's some things that could be done better. But at the same time, is that your major issue? Is it the economy? Is it healthcare? How about education? A major issue. Today the dialogue is about, how we educating our kids. Are we doing it from home? Are they going to the school? Is it a hybrid model. Um, and the wage, what is it? The wage for educators, oh, man, it's really got to be raised up because our educators are living just a step or two above the poverty line, unless they've been there for 7 years, 9 years, and have different degrees and whatnot. But coming to the entry level of education is financially challenging, very challenging. Is this your major issue? Is that your major issue? Is that what's driving you in this election? So we got, what did we talk about? We talked about um, the economy, healthcare, education. How about taxes? Now we talked about the president has got our country in um, a good, a better tax position than we've ever been in relative to corporate America, corporate taxes, and payroll taxes. It's good. It's good right now. But is it feeding into um, the deterioration of the strength of our country? Why? Because we need money. So we got to raise taxes. Okay, you do want police, you do, I mean, and that's another issue, but you do want police, you do want fire, you do want hospitals, you do want schools and education and colleges, you do want the roads repaired, you want bridges, you want, this taxes pay for all that. Taxes. Clean water, clean air, that's taxes. Clean streets, that's taxes. Right? That's taxes. Uh, but people don't want they don't want the taxes raised. I'm gonna tell you, I don't even drive and go certain places in Cleveland. I don't. Why? Because the roads are too bad. Like I grew up around chuck holes. Y'all know chuck holes, you potholes, chuck holes, this, that, and the other. I have tore up cars on potholes, and I like to drive expensive cars, and they have expensive tires and rims and all that kind of stuff. And when you hit one of them potholes doing 35, 40, 50 miles an hour, man, you're going to have to get you a whole nother rim. You can jack up the side of your car. I mean, one time I was rolling on the freeway, I hit a pothole on the freeway, and it took out the whole right side of my car, the front tire and the back tire, and I think I had almost $10,000 worth of work, rims, tires, and some body work. Just like that. Just like that. And it was better for me just to trade in my car and get a new car and write that crap off and all that kind of stuff with the insurance and so on and so forth. But that's taxes. I'm just talking about that's taxes. What are your issues? What are your issues? Are your issues the pandemic? We're going to talk about the pandemic. Are your issues the social injustice, social uprising, social unrest? Just the fact that the spirit of hatred and racism is alive and well, and it seems like it's flourishing in our country under this leadership. So is that the driving force for you? Or is it social injustice, the pandemic, police brutality, police reform? What drives you with the election? All right, it's 10:30. I'm going to take a break. We started a little late, but I'm going to take a break and come back and chop it up a little bit more as we take a look at what are your issues? What are the issues that are driving you about this election? Go to the social media platform and talk to me. Let me see if I can get this out of here. And why? Because I want to hear, come on, phone. I want to hear what you have to say. What are your issues? I really want to know what are your number one and number two issues. We know about all issues, but what is your main issue? There it is. What is your main issue that's driving your thoughts in the election? Would you share, like it, and let's expand our viewing audience. And I want you to consider sowing, partnering with me, and sowing your seed. Help me further the kingdom of God through this platform, teaching and preaching, and also help me give 1,000 kids a scholarship of $1,000. I'm believing God for 1,000 people to sow $1,000 into this ministry so I can give 1,000 kids a scholarship of $1,000 to go to school. After they graduate high school, we have a little criteria set up for them, and they can qualify for $1,000 as you all give it. And you can give it one time, you can give it over 2 times, you can give over 35 times, you can give $20 a week. Say, hey, Bishop, I want to be one of your partners. Here's $20 a week for the kids. This is for the bishop's kids. Let's do that. Or you can just sow into this ministry by giving on any level just to help me advance the kingdom of God and continue to do what I'm doing. All right, I'm Bishop Clark. Keep it locked. I'll be right back. The help. You don't want your works for God to be motivated out of pay or motivated simply to be seen. Thank God for those that have the exchange. That's appropriate. At the same time, make sure that your heart is pure before the Lord.
Hey, Baca, join us for prayer, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. John 15:7 says, if ye abide in me, and my word abide in you, ask what you will, and it shall be done unto you. The phone number to join is 712-775-8968. The PIN code is 304282. Hey everybody, I'm Pastor Lenora Clark. I'd like to invite you to partner with Bishop Eric Clark as he endeavors to give 1,000 deserving students a scholarship to further their education. A donation of any size will help us in this endeavor. So begin to sow today.
You're going to have to go and adjust that. All right, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. I'm Bishop Clark, and Lisa, you got to adjust that. It's just going crazy over here. I'm Bishop Clark. You listen to the Bishop Clark Show. Some more technical difficulties, we're just getting through it. But I appreciate all of you all that have tuned in and that are helping me. Y'all going to help me talk through it. Help me today talk through the issues. What are your issues? What issues drive you to vote? Again, people don't like the president in our community, African American community, because they believe he's a racist, because of he's unpresidential. Those are the reasons. Might be other reasons, but he has done some things. He has done some things. Just slide it down. Just pull it down some. Just pull it down some. Yeah, you got to keep on because it's still ringing. And I'll go to the Okay. And testing one. How about that? I'm struggling with this equipment today. All right, let's see if we can go here and see if this is going to work. Nonetheless, what are your issues? Would y'all give me a line? Hey, I saw my girl Tracy. God bless you, Tracy. Thank you for joining us today and getting in the conversation. If I can pull that up again. And Tracy Cargo, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. And she is there in Alexandria, in the D.C. area, in the Baltimore, D.C. corridor in that area. And so maybe you have your ear to the ground and have a little bit better pulse for what's going on. Why don't you go down there to 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue and see what's going on? Would you go check on that for a minute? Anyway, Tracy says social injustice because our kids and grandkids' futures at stake. It's a travesty when a kid goes to college. I can't read all that. So when they go to college, do all the right things and can't get employment. Okay, very good. That's that. Now I appreciate the comment. That's the kind of comment that could carry the whole show. I was asking, our question today is, what are your issues, right? What is your major issue in this election? What's the main thing, or either the top two issues? Because there are a lot of issues that are driving this election. But what is your main issue? And Tracy says that her main issue is the whole social injustice piece. She wants a president that is going to bring some reconciliation, that's going to bring equality, that's going to bring some reforming to systemic racism. It's in every system. It's in the banking system. It's in the real estate system, industry. It's in sports. It's in when you take a look at the general managers, who's running the team, who owns the team. They won't even let you own a team. Like, to be a minority owner is amazing. Baseball, basketball, football. I mean, what is that? Systemic racism. The good old boys club. There's still clubs you can't join. There's still country clubs you can't join. There's still places you can't go. And even in high society, people can put a club together and allow whoever they want into their club, right? It's like Tiger Woods couldn't join the club at one time, couldn't go to. His father had an incident with the Masters, where they played the Masters at, until he became, I think, a 4-time Masters champion. I think you got to check the statistics on that. But racism still exists, and what Tracy is saying is that is a number one issue. Economy, important. Education, important. The pandemic, man, if you're not alive, the issues don't even matter, right? Police reform, yeah, we need that. But social injustice, there's inequities there in every system. I mean, literally, when you talk about that, it's everything. Because you can, like you said, Tracy, send your kid to college, and they can still be ousted out. I saw a report on TV last night that the police department in Akron is reevaluating from head to toe. Why? Because there's an inequity. They have, I think it's 15% of African-American officers, and they represent over 30% of the population, whereas in the community, there's a much smaller representation of whites, and yet they are over 90% employed. So they're going over it, and they're reevaluating these things. What are your issues? Someone else. Let me hear. Someone else. No one else. No one else. I want the taxes to be fair among the citizens in this country. You know what, Tracy? Look like it's me and you talking today. Check this out. I believe in a flat tax. Now, that's me. I would buy into the flat tax. I would buy into everybody paying the same tax, whatever it is. If it's 20%, 30%, 25%, but everybody pay the same thing. So if you're a billionaire, 20%. If you own the bottom, 20%, whatever. Flat tax. I wish they could come up. Now, again, I'm not an economist. I don't know all the figures and what it does, but I just believe that that's fair. And if you want more money, make more money. I don't think you should be penalized for making more money. The more you make, the more they take. That's crazy. I mean, if you do some incredible work, I got this invention, I'm trying to sell this invention, and I'm looking for millions, millions, right? So say I get 10 million. Do you know right now at 10 million, they're going to take about 37% of my money? So they're going to take, I'll end up with 6.5 million. If somebody buy my invention for 10 million, I get 6.5 because the rest is taxes. That's crazy. No, I think it should be a flat tax. 20%, dude. 20% across the board. Everybody. You know, it's like amazing. I think, who is it? Pennsylvania doesn't have a clothing tax. Like when you buy merchandise in the store and you go buy a pair of jeans, there's no tax, something like that. And I know people that drive to Pennsylvania to do their shopping, so they don't have to pay taxes. So they spend $60 driving back and forth to Pennsylvania by the time they gas and eat on the road, and they save $60 in taxes. I think that's ridiculous. You know, it's ridiculous. Spend 60 to save 60. At the same time, it's just amazing from city to city, state to state. Who is it? Florida doesn't have the income tax. There are a lot of people, they retire and move to Florida, or they retire and move to a better state that facilitates their money coming in because they're tired of being taxed on their money. I would go into a flat tax, equal, across the board. That's what I'd say. But taxes are a major issue. If you're watching, share. And my question today is, what are your issues? What are your issues? Is anybody else? So Tracy, okay, it's me and you, girl. So Tracy, what good is in that order, social justice? What could be done? You want a president, and I like, the other day there was arguing, but I do like what Joe Biden said. Joe Biden said, I don't believe in defunding the police. No, we're not going to take their money. Now, we need to reevaluate some stuff. We need to change some stuff, but nobody's going to defund the police, and they need to be retrained. There's some racial sensitivity. They need to be retrained. He began to talk to that. That's not even rhetoric that Donald Trump will embrace. That disturbs me. That disturbs me that he don't even talk about it. He won't even bring it up. He won't even condemn the acts or even the existence of white supremacy groups. You know, I know we live in a free country and you can, freedom of speech and all that kind of stuff, but that is frowned upon. It's frowned upon. And that stuff needs to be condemned. Stand down and stand by. Stand ready. I'll tell y'all what to do. That didn't sound good. And there's so much. I just perusing some of the social media stuff, and they are clowning President Donald Trump on his racist stance, and it's hard to rebuttal that because I have to admit I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, but I do like some of the changes that he has brought to our country. I really do. Now, my personal preference about him, that's my own thing. But as far as the country, I'm just not one of these emotional people that say, I got to have who I like in office. I don't have to like you for you to do a good job. There are people that are doing a good job and doing good things as a senator, as a mayor. I don't have to like you personally. I don't have to like the car you drive or the way you handle your personal business. I can even think you're a crook. But if you're doing a good job, you do a good job. So if I have a feeling, I'm just not this emotional person. I don't like them, so I don't want them. No, I try to look at the facts. Let me look at the statistics. What is he doing? Okay, what is he doing good? And not what is he doing good for me, what is he doing good for our country? So you got to look at the big picture. You got to look at the big picture. What is he doing good for you? What did President Barack Obama do for you? No, they have to be the president of our country. So it has to be for the good of our nation, the good of our country. And getting better trade deals is good for our country. Um, Not having extremely large payroll taxes is good for our country. Um, Not allowing jobs to escape our country, and the companies sending the jobs overseas for a cheaper wage, that's not good for. So he has brought those jobs back home and penalizes these companies for taking it. That's good for our country. So I'm good. That's good. I can see that. That's good. But when you don't stand against racism, that's not good. I don't like that. When you allow a pandemic to run crazy and not really get ahead of this thing and do all that you can do for our country to save lives, that's not good. So you got to look at both sides. You don't just look at it and say, I like his shoes, or I don't like his hairstyle, no, or I don't like the color of his skin, or I don't like, no, you got to look at the whole deal. You got to look at the whole deal. What are your issues? I like to hear from you if you're watching. What are your issues that are helping you decide with this election? Pandemic is hot topic. Pandemic is hot topic. Why? Because it's killed over 200,000. Now, there are those that would argue, say, no, the pandemic didn't kill that many. They had pre-existing this, that, and the other, and it was the ventilators that killed them, and they're not reporting the right numbers and this, that, and the other. I'm telling you, man, you can find people that say they didn't put a person on the moon. You can find people that says they don't believe in satellites. Satellites is not real. You can find an argument on every side, on both sides. He's the greatest president in the world. He's the worst president in the world. You can find an argument to that concerning Donald Trump. And concerning the pandemic, I guarantee you can find an argument that said it started in Africa. The virus started in Russia. You can find an article that says everything. And so conflict bias, confirmation bias is what Brunson said yesterday. A lot of times you already have developed your feeling about a person or about a candidate, and every story, everything that comes out can be twisted to fit your bias. You could look out of a slanted, demented, from your perspective. And the challenge is to keep an open mind. The challenge is to keep an open heart. It's like a woman, right? She sees this guy and she says, "No, I don't like him." Maybe she's referring to the way he look. She's not attracted to him, and it's amazing. I have seen situations like that. Once she get to know him, he begins to grow on her. Friendship develops. She begins to see his core values. She begins to see, oh, wow, he's faithful. He's consistent. He has the wherewithal to provide and to be stable, to build a family. Not only that, he sees something in me. He values me. He understands my worth. And next thing you know, she is in love with him. So sometimes at face value, you just make the assumption and you don't delve into the issues. Same thing with me and a woman. I see a girl, if she not attractive. Now, that scenario that I just described, it ain't going to happen with me. Why? Because I can see that they're nice and they're strong and they're smart and they value me and this, that, and the other. They just don't look good to me. So with all that other stuff, I'm still not going to take the next step because they don't look good. Why? Because that's my major issue. You see, call me shallow, call me carnal, whatever you want to do is fine, but that's my major issue. It's got to look like I want it to look. That's with me. Well, that could be true with the election. Your major issue, in other words, he can get this right, he can get that right, he can get that right. The candidate could check off a lot of boxes, but your main issue is disappointed, and you might not be willing to vote for that candidate. Does that mean that you are a one-issue voter? It might, and then it might not. whatever the case may be, you have a right to vote, and I think you should take advantage of that right. I think that you should get registered. There's 1,000 ways to do it. Get registered and make sure your voice is heard. Make sure that you vote. Get some reading. Google some stuff. Do some research and read about the issues. Read about the two presidential candidates and the other races that are being run and elected officials that have to be put into office. Find out what they stand for. And all you're getting, get an understanding. Now, that's the deal. That's the deal. And people sometimes don't vote. You know, you can go into the election booth and just vote the president for the presidency, or you can just vote for different other offices that are seats that are open, or offices that are candidates that are running for different offices. You don't have to vote for everything. But I do encourage you to understand the issues. And reading is not, you need to read a variety of things. Read what would be considered left and right, what would be considered mainstream and underground. Get a plethora of articles and read about your issues and check it out, and then form your own opinion. But if you just read, like I have people in my life, they just read and expose themselves to one thing, and they are some deep conspiracy theorists. My God, boy, I'm telling you. And it's like you got to open yourself up to a much broader stream of information so you can make articulate decisions. Then you got to be prayerful and be discerning. But you know what? I'm still old-fashioned. I like for people to resonate with me. The other day I was listening to Joe Biden, who is an older man. He's a senior man, and you can see he's aged. I'm glad that I think he has the wisdom to surround himself with sharp people, smart people, economists, scientists, strategists, because I think he's smart enough to know he don't know it all. On the other hand, that's my real fear with President Donald Trump. I feel like he feels like he know everything, and he just is belligerent, and he bullies his way through different things rather than, get some smart people, get some intelligent people, listen to all their counsel, and, make calculated decisions. And that's, the safety, the confirmation that I'm feeling for. Is one smarter than the other? Only, in my opinion, in light of surrounding yourself with people that can help you. I don't need to surround myself with people. Every other person that's a part of my cabinet, I'm firing or they quitting. Why? Because their job doesn't matter. When they counsel me, I don't listen to their counsel. When they try to direct me, I can't take direction. I was preaching last night about wisdom. Wisdom hears instruction. In the multitude of counsel, there is much safety. Wisdom listens to the Father, listens to the instruction. Wisdom is always like a sponge getting information. Slow to speak, quick to hear, to listen, to be instructed. And that's what I want. I want a wise leader. Yeah, these issues are major. What is my major topic? It would be between the economy, the pandemic, because they sort of flow together, and social justice. So let me knock out one. I gotta do it. I gotta deduct. It's my thought process through elimination. Okay. Social justice and economy, because the pandemic is going to, we're gonna get through this. It's gonna change. We're going to have a vaccine, and things will get back to a new norm. So social justice, economy. I would have to agree with you, Tracy. Social justice, equality, equality. equality. Are you going to ever get rid of racism? That's in the hearts of people. That's deep down rooted in their bones, passed from generation to generation to generation. It takes the new birth. Marvel not, I said to you, you must be born again. I believe that the power of God is the only thing that can change a man's heart. But the laws in this country, the systems in this country, the real estate industry, the banking industry, the education industry, the opportunities that can be afforded us, the powers that be, and unless we change the systems, and I believe that we're headed towards a better future. Why? Because these millennials and these younger kids, they don't care nothing about race and color. And eventually, all these old folk die. Eventually, all these old racist people that govern and direct these systems, they die. In time, they die. And so you move ahead 30 years from now, a lot of them that are in their 60s or 70s will be off the scene. And the younger people that have been raised up in integrated neighborhoods, integrated schools, integrated communities. They play at the Y. They play on basketball, football, baseball teams together, stuff like they don't have all these white and black issues. They don't have all these Mexican and Hispanic issues. And so the future is going to get better. But if we can accelerate the process by getting some leadership in that at least acknowledges the fact that there's systemic racism and something needs to be done about it, I think that could be better. All right, I'm just about out of time today. Doesn't seem like y'all want to chit-chat that much with me. That's all good. I pray that you would share it, today's conversation, like it, and then I want you to partner with me by sowing. I challenge you to sow on any level. Help me sow that seed and watch God bless you. Watch God multiply that back to you. Watch God do that. He will do that if you will release your gift to the Lord. Give so we can continue doing all that God has called us to do. So it's your tithe, it's your offering. Give it. Navigate on your screen and release it today. And then there are those that are inspired to give specifically towards the bishop's kids. What is that? I want 1,000 children to receive $1,000 to help them with their books, to help them with their tuition, to help them get a phone, get a laptop, get a computer of some sort, an iPad, to help them further their education. They might need transportation. They might need to pay their rent. And they can do whatever they need to do with it that furthers their education once we give it to them. But we can't give it until you give it. So would you be inspired and release a seed, sow it, and God's going to multiply it back to you in Jesus' name. All right? I'm Bishop Eric Kincaid Clark. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, education creates opportunity. Peace to the family.